And welcome back to Open Studio. I'm Steve Leahy. I know. What are you looking at? You're looking at that. There we go. Oh, well. Um, I took a picture of this and then I never moved it back. So there you go. All right. So we're back at it. Back at that little section right there. So we're good. We're good. We're good. What else is going on there? All kinds of good stuff. So that little guy up there, that one, yeah, it's gray and white and whatever. I don't know. A bunch of stuff. How is your week going? How is your fantastic Wednesday going? Hopefully pretty well. What's the soapbox for today? What is the soapbox for today? I don't know. I'm sure something will come up. All right, moving right back on this thing. What did I do there? I did the wrong place. That's okay. All right, this is what actually, it's the same color, so it doesn't matter. Okay, never mind. I'll get caught up, I promise. Yeah, this little gray building above the green that we did last week, and then there's the roof color. So yeah, we're good. All right. Um, what's happening here? Lots going on again. Having some fun, doing some things, painting some stuff. I think I mentioned before, I'm on this crate thing. So once after the holidays are done, I'm going to build some crates for these small, intense paintings. I don't. Originally, I'm like, yes, every painting will be in a crate, and meaning little crate. Will only be like 8 inches, 9 inches long by about, I don't know, 6 inches tall. So it'll be a small little crate. I don't know. I'm gonna build at least one and see how it is. It may be. Well, I'll take this back. It's definitely overkill. Like they have crates for paintings that are, you know, um, like millions of dollars. That's what happens when you move a $1 million painting. It goes in a crate, and it's protected with special foam and this special Tyvek. It's quite a thing, and I was like, I want to do that. So again, it's overkill. My paintings aren't millions of dollars. I would like to think that at some point they'd be worth more than I could imagine. That would be wonderful. Um, but it doesn't hurt to treat them like that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm sure some artists, like Warhol, knew his stuff was expensive when he was doing it. There are the artists today that produced $1 million paintings, right out of the gate, just because. Um, so, it's what it is. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun thing to do anyway. And it's not going to hurt in case, like, for instance, like when I ship a big time painting, they like one like this. It goes in a cardboard box, but there's all kinds of foam and all kinds of craziness to go along with it, just so it's absolutely safe, and then make sure it gets there and all this stuff. Now, the wonderful thing about a crate is that it pretty much, unless the thing is actively destroyed, it's going to get there safe, because a wooden crate with the correct type of foam and all that fun stuff is going to protect it no matter what really happens to it on the way. Again, if you have $1 million painting, you're not going to ship that UPS or FedEx. That's going to go through an art handler. So you wouldn't want to do this, but you could literally have an art handler come and pick up your painting just the way it is. You would never do that. It would always have some sort of protection on it. But when you see an art handler move a painting, say it's a whatever painting it is, they're wrapped up in plastic and have corners on them and stuff, but they're basically open. You know what I mean? There's no There doesn't have to be a crate around them necessarily, depending on the piece. Now, obviously, if you had a, Monet or something, that would never ship or move, and not in a crate. So yeah. So again, it's more of an exercise of just, I know I can do it. It's not that crazy to do. I don't know that I would pay someone at this point to build crates for my paintings because, again, it's a little bit overkill for them. But I can build them myself, and then all it costs me is labor. And then I also kind of kill two birds with one stone. I really learned what it's going to take to make a crate for this size painting, which I'm not 100% sure yet. I got to do some logistics and some work on that. So there's that, and yeah. Plus, it's fun. I like working with wood, and I like building stuff. So it'll be really fun. So I've been working on the design. I've used the idea from bigger crates, like we were talking about, like for the $1 million paintings. I've kind of taken some photos of those, and see how those are built, and that kind of thing. And so I know what kind of the basic idea is behind them. Now, what happens is I have to scale that down a lot. So that's fun, to kind of get that idea down to a more miniature size for these paintings. But I've got a plan. I think it's going to work. I know it's going to work. So, all right, this building up here is not bugging me, but this panel needs to be dark too. But do I want to break out the airbrush? Not really. Oh, it is broken out. Would getting this building in help? Not really. I really should finish up what's going on below it, which is in here. Also, it would help a little bit because the bottom of it is obscured. It's dark. But I can just do that with the paintbrush and then do the airbrush part later. Yeah, because there's a center section with white windows, and I should have painted that whole face dark, but that would have been the right thing to do. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. It's this little white building right here that's like throwing me off. Yeah, so I started buying wood for the crate, but I think I want to find some other stuff. I have some finished thin plywood, which will be nice, and I think I'm still going to use that. But the banding on the outside, I bought 1x2s, which is what I'd really love to find is half inch by 2 inches. So I can rip those pieces and get them to the ½ inch by cutting them in half. But I don't necessarily know that that's the way I want to go. I'm thinking about going back and looking for some trim wood that's already pre-cut, because a pre-cut is definitely the way that I want to go. Because I don't want to, I'd love to be able to just buy the, buy the wood, and then just cut the lengths I need, instead of having to get into cutting, custom pieces. Again, I don't want this to be a giant project. I want to have fun with it, but I want the final product to be, amazing. Because it'd be really special, when one of these paintings sells and goes to a collector, to have it show up with, to them in this really nice crate. And I could do that. I can justify that with the amount that these sell for already. And then just to know that, that it's safe. It also, crates are more museum-y type of thing. Because if you buy a painting, if you collect a painting, generally, if you're a private collector, you're gonna display it. You're gonna have it up. You're not collecting it to store or move around. So if I do that, and a collector takes one of these paintings, they're gonna get the crate, and then what do you do with it? If it's on their wall indefinitely, You know, they'll never need the crate, this cool crate that I built. So again, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I'd pay someone to do it because I don't know that it is the way to go. But how am I spending 25 minutes talking about crates? I don't know. This is my life, and you guys, it's your fault for being here. All right, where are we at? I've got a bunch of the white or lighter spots done. I'm just kind of running around and filling in these little extra bits. Now that I'm getting zoned in on that, I'm feeling better. Yeah. Yeah, these are all really tiny. Can't really even see what's going on there, which is cool. Just random stuff. Now, what I'm doing right here with these little tiny details, that's what the whole top side of the painting is going to be. You can't see the buildings. It's just, this indication. Well, I'll show you on the copy. Excuse me. Like, look at this. Like this section in here, obviously, like looking at this, it just looks like, I don't know. If I showed you this and you didn't see the rest of the buildings, you wouldn't assume that was a city. Now, I'm going to clean that up. I can see a lot more in the photocopy, but I'll be literally painting buildings just by doing what I'm doing right here, just little dabs of paint. So that's fun. And again, you guys are here. You can't blame anyone but yourself. I really appreciate you guys being here. Oh, man. Yeah, this whole little block, it's cool. All right. I'm not going to get, this is the little street right here. I'm not going to jump over onto this part yet, even though I kind of started it. I want to kind of resolve this little area first. It just, it saves from having things get lost in the shuffle. If I bounce around too much, there's a really, really good chance that I won't finish a section. Like if I just go from here up to here or whatever, and then, this is the episode ends and I just jump on another part, there's a good chance that I would forget this area to finish it. So I try not to do that either, which is another reason we're talking about, why I don't do like one thing throughout the whole thing. Like if I run around this whole thing and do all these little white details across the entire thing, I'll just forget what I finished and what I didn't. And that's not a good look. Good. Yeah, this paint is drying out. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Much betterer. And it's a great feeling. Like I said, I'm kind of not lost in here, but I had to get some of the bits in. It's so nice when you I did these green things and then I started up here and I'm moving across and then I do this detail and it's supposed to be right above the green things and it is. You know what I mean? Like I went from this side to this side and it was right. That way I know I'm doing the right thing, that's a really good feeling, because the opposite of that is to get to that bottom part and they don't line up like happened with the other one where I had to go in and try to fix, whatever the problem was. So it goes both ways. Hopefully it goes more that things are working out, but sometimes they don't. But I'm feeling good. Feeling good about this stuff. Yeah, like that. I like that. We did the road up to here. I might be able to jump over on the street. No, I'm going to fix this building. Let's do that. All right, so to fix that building, not fix it, but to finish it, really. Let's do that, because that'll kind of take care of that whole area. this darker area, see how it's split in two? The building is actually split in three. So let's find out what I did there. And we'll do that by just painting in the black again. I'll use this copy with it's the one we use for the brick. But there's that building. See how it's split into three? So we'll find out what I did here. I should spray the whole thing dark and then put the white in, but I know the white, remember the white doesn't spray or paintbrush as well, or spray as well as the black. So it's going to be easier for me to put these little black lines in than it would be for me to paint the little white lines. If I did the white lines, I would just have to clean it all up again. So we're going to paint the white as a unit, as one big block. But first thing I'm going to do is to get the dark area in on either side. Now obviously I have it on one side already, but it's probably too big. I don't know what I was thinking, but we'll find out. There we go. That's good. Okay, and I still have black in the brush. Let's go to the tape. Let's see what I did here. Oh, that's not the building. That's the brick building. Meanwhile, you guys right now are screaming at me. It's like, no, that's not the right one. There we go. That's the right one. Oh, did I do this right? No, I didn't. I can tell. That's all right. I'll fix it. It's easy. Make sure we're lined up, and we are. So the other side, obviously, I didn't do it to get the black there. But this this one on the left is too big. But we're going to fix that in a second. So same thing here as last week. You know, I have this really reduced black. Instead of swapping it out, I'm just going to use it. So I just got to go really slow. So I put a few coats on, and then I leave the air going, and then the air actually just dries out the paint. So it sounds like I'm painting the whole time, but I'm not. So that's paint, and then that's air. Now, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to see where the white strip should go in the middle, because I've added paint to both sides. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it does. It's fine. It'll work. I can see it. So I'm just going to hand paint the white. If I can find a decent, I can't remember where I put that drop. Anyway, all right, so I'm just going to paint the white in, because I could turn around and fill up the airbrush, cut out a new stencil for this, and just spray the white in. But, you know, for the effort that would take for the airbrush, I mean, it's faster for me to just, you know, run a little bit of white paint up here. The other thing too is this white strip in the middle doesn't have to be perfectly pure white and even and, you know, no brush strokes. It's got to be good, but it doesn't have to be like absolutely mint, because I'm going to be cutting the black lines back into this. So if there's a little bit of an imperfection there, it's not going to matter. How's the roof look on that? Pretty decent. There's a white strip up the side, but I've got it as gray, so I may leave that because it's pretty much done now. So we'll add a little bit to the top, and I got the white in the brush, and I'm waiting for that to dry. Bounce around a little bit. Oh, I never finished the roof on this building either. Actually, I never really did this building. Okay, then. We have time in this episode to finish this building. So this will be a good episode as far as progress goes. All right, now, I don't remember what's good and what's not good on this palette for white. So I'm going to put another drop down. I will put it way over here, which I don't like to do, because paint near the edge runs the risk of getting on the foam underneath, and that's not a good look. But for this, should be okay. This is out of the bottle white, which is going to cover a lot better. It's going to paintbrush a lot better. This does everything better, because it's now designed I mean, it's performing the way it was designed essentially. Where once I have it on the wet palette for a long time, again, it can get wonky. All right, that's good. Now I just gotta let that dry. That's gonna take a minute because that's a good coat of paint right there. Anything else I can do with the white? Not really. Not really. Okay. But I can't put the windows in this guy on the dark parts. So I'm going to get this white, make up a little bit of gray here. It's going to be a darker gray though. I do have a brand new dot of black somewhere in here too. I just couldn't tell you where it was. Maybe this one? Yeah, that's the one. All right, well. I could tell because as soon as I put that paint in there, it immediately took over. So that's a good thing. Again, because it's working like it's supposed to. So that white is still drying, so I want to avoid that. But I can put in the windows on either side of this guy here. It's probably, there we go, a little more like that so you can see it. See, I need my laser rectangle so I could see where the camera is. Again, I thought, all the DJs have those, laser thingies. I figured it wouldn't be that expensive, but they really haven't come down too far in price. And I know the one I was looking at, you can program all these different shapes and all this stuff, and really all I need is just something to make a rectangle. Watch, someone's going to actually really invent that, and then they're going to make millions, and I'm going to be a sad panda. All right, is that dry? We'll find out. Here's how we're going to find out if that white is dry. I'm going to clean up the outside edge again because white doesn't necessarily really want to spray or paint really well, but the black does. So I can clean up the outside edge of this, and that'll do two things. One, it will clean up the outside edge of this, and two, it'll let me know if that white paint is dry. If it isn't, it'll just start to blend together, and I can stop immediately and wait. But no, this is going pretty well. So that white is dry. So we'll do the top line, clean that up a little bit. Nice. And then I'll look real quick at those windows and they go right to the edge, which is fantastic. So you see what I mean? Like this black is just so nice to paintbrush with. Could I do this with the white? Yeah, I'd maybe get one or two lines and then I'd have to repalette the brush and get it all ready to go again. But the black did that whole string of windows all in one shot. Just don't ask me why. It's the load of the pigment, the heaviness of the pigment or whatever it is. White's always been kind of, cranky to paint with. But mostly, and that pops up mostly with airbrushing. But I do notice it because I'm used to have the problems with white with an airbrush. I also notice the same kind of characteristics with the paintbrush work. It's just, it just doesn't want to flow as well as the other colors. And again, that's because of the pigment in it and how heavy it is and what it's designed to do. So we just live with it. We kind of deal with whatever it's going to do, and that's it. Suck it up, buttercup, as the saying goes. All right, just for fun, I'm not going to get up there yet, but I'm just going to kind of clean up the top of this roof. What will define the top of this roof really is the buildings above it or behind it, but for now, that's good. I'm really happy because now we just knocked out that whole block right there. We still got 5 minutes. Yeah, we're burning. All right, do I want to get into that road? I think I do. What is going on there, though? Yeah, it means I have to jump across the street, which I'm not particularly prepared to do. What I'd have to do to jump across the street is the same deal. I'd cut out something so I could see what's going on in this little triangle here. But there's some other stuff going on the street, so we'll work on that a little bit and set ourselves up for next week. Like the lines in the street are here. This is a dark gray, so this will be nice because it'll be just kind of subtle and it'll still be in there, and that works. There's a line that goes across the street here too. That's lovely. That building is not that dark right there, but we'll deal with that next week too. And I say all that, but you know, we may get in next week, and I may be like, yeah, let's go do this part and bounce around. Which again, that's all good. It's all good. Just keeps my head in the game. You know, you play games like it may be that I'll jump all the way back to this side, start here, and then move across, and then just meet up with where I left off. You know, I mean, I'm not going to do that, but I have done stuff like that just to, again, to keep myself engaged in it. It's not that I'm getting bored with it, but it is a tractor pull. You know, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot to kind of keep your head focused on. So I do what I can to really make sure that, you know, that stays the way it should. Meaning, oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on there. There's another car there too. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I wanna do what I can to stay engaged in it. All right, so we got a little car waiting to go right here on the street. Actually, it's not a little car because it's bigger than the other stuff that's on the street. So we got that. And then there's something behind it, whether it's on the street or what. And then there's a walkway, which I've already got. The lines, this is too bright for that, but that's okay. But this building over here, I kind of got cut off. So we can work on that one too. Yeah, like that. Also some shenanigans going on in the front of this building that you can just barely see too. So we'll put those in too. Oh, I'm going to say this again too, because I record these early, and obviously I'm watching it live with you now. So so I can thank people who are giving super thanks and hitting the like button and all that stuff. But yesterday, Steve will thank you as well. So thank you for anyone who's doing that on this premiere or after the fact. It means a lot to me. You know, it's a really special feeling when I get, you know, a comment on an older video, especially, and you know, someone says, "Hey, I just watched this," or "I just found your channel, and you know, I really like it." That means a lot, man. It really makes my day. So thank you all for jumping in and leaving your comments, even on old videos. Makes me really happy. I think that's good. I think that's where I'm going to stop, because what I got to do next is I got to cut out the landmark buildings for this side of the street before I move over. And we only have about 1.5 minutes left, and there isn't enough time to really get in there. But we did do a good thing. I mean, we got all that building done and all that little foolishness right in there done too. I don't have to airbrush any of that. That doesn't need it, but yeah, it's going to be good. So yeah, look at that. After all that, next week we'll be back up over the high school again. So we're almost to the other side again. This is great. Let me share the whole thing. This is what it looks like. And yeah, you can see that what you're looking at there, the finished section is about 1 inch on the left-hand side. So once we get all the way across, we would have finished the bottom inch, which is crazy, right? But that's how these things go. They're worth it in the end for sure. All right. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. If you'd like to support what we do here, you can click the like button and certainly subscribe, and click that bell icon to get all the notifications. That's fantastic. If you'd like to be a more of a financial supporter of the site, I would deeply appreciate that too. You can become a member here, so you get early access to the time-lapse video every week. You get a discount on my store on the website, as well as Patreon. They're going to get a bunch of other perks. They get their own open studio video right now, and they also get a discount on the website too as well. All right, so for Steve Leahy and Through Lachlan's Eyes, thank you all for hanging out with me, and I will catch you guys next week.